Hi everyone, my name is Claudia and I'd like to introduce you to my new channel, What Would Dr. S Say? Dr. S meaning Dr. Sebi, of course. Last summer, in August, I went to Honduras, and some of you might have watched my videos of my journey there for the 2 weeks that I was there. I personally believe that it changed my life. And I came back and I started doing things a lot differently. So much so that I started thinking of ways that I could improve my life and improve my surroundings. I began by launching my product, two products, one product but two products. Honduras Irish Moss, the real deal Irish Moss, 100% Honduras Irish Moss, real deal Irish Moss, 100% Jamaican Irish Moss. And I started selling these. So if you guys see these products in any stores, West Indian stores, anywhere, please, I'm asking you to support. Support me, another black business trying to make a headway. You know how it goes. And so to introduce and to celebrate Dr. Sebi, I decided that I should do a video on how to prepare this Irish moss, because Dr. Sebi believed so much in the Irish moss, and after researching it myself, I realized that it is the bomb of a product, really. And I believed in it so much that I decided to invest my time and money and just a lot of what I have in me to introducing and continuing to introduce. I shouldn't say introduce, because lots of people know about Irish moss, especially if you're Jamaican and stuff like that, but continuing the legacy of all the things that Dr. Sebi has put towards us, and continuing the legacy of allowing people to understand how important Irish moss is to our diet. So to begin, I'm going to show you how I prepare my Irish moss. On the package here, I do have directions as to how to prepare it, but there's lots of different ways, and people prepare Irish moss differently. But I'm going to show you how I do it. So, first of all, to begin with, the Irish moss looks like this when it comes out of the package. This is the Jamaican one I'm using today, okay? And it's got lots of little particles from the sea in there. It might have like sand particles and things like that that you have to wash out. So you wash that out maybe 2 or 3 times, and then you pour about 4 cups of spring water on this and soak it overnight. And so that's before. After you've soaked it overnight, I've soaked it overnight already, so I'm just showing you here. After you've soaked it overnight, this is what it looks like. It comes to about 2 times the amount, if you notice here. 2 times the amount of Irish moss you get after you soak that small amount. That's about an ounce, approximately, give or take. It might be a little bit more sometimes, you know, but about an ounce. Or a little tiny bit less, or a little tiny bit more, but call it an ounce, okay? All right, so after you soak it overnight, this is what it looks like. On the package, I've written that you would blend it before you boil it. You could blend it before you boil it, or you could boil it and then blend it. Today, I'm going to boil it and then blend it, okay? Boil it so it gets really, really soft, and then I'm going to blend it to smooth it out so you can get that proper gel-like consistency. Because you'll probably, after you boil it for like about a half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour if you feel like it, right? You might have to add a little bit more water to it to let it continue to get soft, right? And after it gets really, really soft, or it melts away, because lots of it will melt away, but there might be still residue, little particles of it still left in the pot. You just dump all of that in the blender, blend it, and boom, you're ready to go. And you keep that in the fridge for about maybe 2-3 weeks, right? So anyway, I'll be right back and with it on the stove boiling. So first of all, I'm going to show you the difference between the Irish moss. All right, this one here is the Wildcrafted Irish Moss, and this one here is the Brine made Irish Moss. Wildcrafted Irish Moss, it comes from the bottom of the ocean, and this Irish Moss here is what we have in our real deal Irish Moss from Honduras and the real deal Irish Moss straight from Jamaica. The brine Irish moss is made in, or it's grown in salt water. And as you see here, it's much thicker. The pieces are much thicker. And it's also, and if you can see the grains of salt in here, that'll show you that this is not really, I mean, I don't want to say not real Irish moss. It's Irish moss because it's grown. The pieces are taken from the ocean and put into the brine water and it grows there. But according to Dr. Sebi, this is the one you should be using. The Irish moss that comes from the bottom of the ocean, which is also considered wildcrafted. It's a little bit more expensive than the brine Irish moss, but overall, it has more of the minerals and nutrients that you need. All right, so next we're going to show you how to prepare it. So here we are. I'm going to pour the Irish moss into the pot here with about another 4 cups of water to begin with. Don't cover it completely because it's so easy to boil up. Watch it until it bubbles up and starts to boil. Then after it starts to boil, then you turn the stove down to like maybe medium high, or yeah, about medium high. You turn the stove down to medium high and let it simmer there for like about 35-40 minutes, and then we'll blend it. All right, so we'll see in a bit. So the thing with Irish moss is that lots of times people say that it has a strong sea smell. I find though that the Irish moss from Jamaica and the Irish moss from Honduras has 2 separate sort of scents. Both of them sort of smell like the sea, but the Honduras Irish moss is a little bit stronger in terms of the sea scent, but they're both equally good and equally beneficial for you. I'd recommend that you squeeze, which I didn't do on camera, but you squeeze maybe 1 lime in while you're soaking it, and maybe another when you're as you decide to boil it, right? So yeah, I'd recommend that, even a lime or so. That'll help to cut down a little bit of the smell. Okay, so here we go. It's boiling now, and maybe another 20-25 minutes worth of boiling, and we'll see how that goes, right? We want to try and get the sea moss as soft as possible or as melted as possible, and that'll be about an hour, I think, altogether, about an hour, right? So we've gone now for about 15 minutes, so we have maybe about 30 to 40 minutes left. All right, we'll see in a bit. All right, so in the interest of saving a little bit of time, I've already gone ahead and put it on the stove and boiled it in 4 cups of water. And it's been about 20 minutes since it's been boiling. And now, as it's boiling, I'm going to, and it's boiled down a little bit over the last 20 minutes. So what I'll do is I would add maybe another 4 cups of water to it. I'll add another 4 cups of water to it and let it boil down some more. Because what you want is that you want most of this stuff to melt out. But if it doesn't melt out, don't worry about it. As long as it's extra soft, when you go to blend it, it'll come right out and be like a thick pasty liquid. if you blend it ahead of time and then boil it, these little particles will be all small and minute, and they'll melt a lot easier too. So as I said before, whichever way you want to do it, either you want to blend it and then boil it and have them melt out in the boil, or you can boil it first and then blend it. And in the blender, it'll come out to a nice smooth consistency. All right? So we're going to continue to let it boil some more. Usually I would say for maybe around 45 minutes to an hour. So it's been about 25 minutes now. So we're going to continue, and we'll be back in a bit to show you what the end result is when we put it in the blender. All right? All right, here we go. So we've blended it. After we've boiled it, we let it cool for a little bit. You don't want to put it in when it's hot, because you're going to put it in a nice glass jar. This holds about 4 cups of water. I measured it beforehand. So now we're going to just pour it in here. Pour it in the glass jar. And then we're going to put it in the fridge. And from the time we put it in the fridge, by tomorrow it'll become more jelly-like. Even in a few hours, actually, it'll become more jelly-like, and then you can take it out like in teaspoons, maybe 1 or 2 teaspoons. You can use it in your gravies. You can use it as a tea, maybe 1 or 2 teaspoons in the morning in your hot water. And you could put it in your smoothies if you like the teaspoon, in the smoothies if you like. And then you've got it. There we go. So Irish moss, the real deal Irish moss. Anywhere you guys see this, I'm asking you to support. And online, please share, like, subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comments section. I'll be glad and pleased to reply. So please let me know what you think about this video. And we're going to be posting a lot more from now on, videos about different kinds of vegan meals and how best to prepare them. Can you see it well? All right. I want you to take a mental picture of this and visual picture of it also. All right, so stay tuned for some more videos coming soon. Thanks again. Next time. Peace.